Back to work here. Um, yeah, drug companies. Wow. Um, I it's never good to be part of a drug company. Altering people's behaviors chemically because we're not living truthfully is psychotic. You know, it's like lobotomies and other things like that. Altering people's behaviors to get them to accommodate your behaviors is not a correct way to behave. Do you understand? It just so happens, that I happen to be the guy from major documentations of the religious understanding of rabbinic religion. My life stories in the Bible, in the Quran. It's in lots of different books, and so I'm a reliable, faithful source of communication. And then there's also those sources of communications. You have written documentation, understandings of communications between myself and Sun Yat-sen, who's the line of Confucius and Tao, and also written documentation about myself and conversations between myself and Jiddu Krishnamurti, who's the line of Siddhartha and Krishna and so forth. And so when the information gets, quote, doctored or manipulated, it doesn't, people can't effectively understand it and apply it in physics. So anytime you get people, if you're a drug company, and we have I have quantum computing now, and artificial general intelligence to correct quantum computing now. Okay. That's why the story about Earl's life is the apocalypse, the restoration of the teaching of the apostles, the living the truth of faithful life, having faith in an infinite essence and an eternal existence through the laws provided by this infinite essence. And so, if you're doing things for money, which is a human invention that has people behave psychotically and murder over the capacity to manipulate others with fallacy, wow. I'd drop out of school and I wouldn't be on TV doing things for money. It's just not you're not rational. It's not sane. It's not lucid. It's insane to sit there and believe that money is real and then engage in violent genocidal conflict that puts the planet and species at risk over money. And then if you want to keep people in a state of acceptance of it, you medicate them, and you institutionalize or incarcerate them and medicate them, which is also insane. Now, I was having some certain thoughts today connecting to people here in my little noggin, and when you get people, I understand wanting to keep people safe. Okay, but you can't keep other people's spouses and other people's children safe from their spouse and keep their children safe from their parents as you perceive it as safe. You can't do that, okay? You can't invade their privacy and tell them what to do. You can do right, and then other people will, oh, wow, you mean your dad doesn't have sex with you? Your mom doesn't have you have sex with her? Your mom didn't kill dad and then take you to bed? And no, wow. Okay, see, so when you have people that, live Psalms and Proverbs and, have faith in infinite glory and an eternal existence and are faithful to each other and vows that they make of holy covenants of sexual reproduction so we can continue to live through the gifts and the laws provided by an infinite essence, eternal existence of loving one another. Once you explain that and understand that and accept that, other people are not going to want to live in a place where it's, oh, I make the rules. I can kill you. I can have sex with you. I can sexually abuse you till you submit to me. People are going to want to leave. They're going to want to come to my house instead of your house. They're not going to want to vote for president where people point guns at them and say, you owe me make-believe money to live here. All right, so there's a reason why there's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason I'm not feeling so high. I'm still very particularly agitated. I'm in a military corridor where they abuse people with technology and money and then think they have this inalienable right because it's written on a piece of paper to do it. And you're like, no, you can say money's real. It doesn't make it. Okay. Money is a human invention that has no value in natural laws provided by the glory of God to sustain our existence. Okay, none whatsoever. Okay. You cannot drink money. You cannot eat money. You cannot breathe money. You cannot make love with money and reproduce and continue to live, to eat, drink, breathe, and love, or even survive Okay? With money. It has no intrinsic value. It has no meaning. It's just a way that assholes manipulate other assholes to get everybody to accept asshole instead of the ways of the faith of Christ. That's all it does. You can argue about it all you want. You can get Huberman Lab from Stanford to sit there and say, he's wrong, but that's not true. You can get Richard Dawkins to sit there and say, he's incorrect. Jesus would be too intelligent to believe there is a God. I believe there is a God, and I have faith that that is so. I believe there is an infinite essence of all existence that is the source of all things that we need to have an eternal existence through faithful, loving one another and obeying the natural laws to sustain our lives to faithfully love one another. I believe this with all my being, and I have faith in that. And if you don't, you can go sell products on TV and smile for the camera. Peg, it will come back to you, right? We go, V. You can paint pictures of a gecko that a man is voicing, but isn't really that real gecko's real voice, right? Because it's just that's artificial general intelligence. And if you believe that that gecko is actually talking with a British accent, you believe money's real, and you'll believe that AI will help you make more money. IBM. Elementary, my dear Watson. Let's create. Create what? You're manipulating matter. Just because you take words and misuse them and screw people with those words and abuse them in vulgar intercourse with those words doesn't mean that what you're doing is valid, sane, rational, and or lucid. Trust me, I am way more intelligent than Andrew Huberman. Okay? I can explain to David Goggins why David Goggins acts like David Goggins. And if he doesn't get it, that brother really got a really fucked up brain injury. You're right, your brain... you just sit there, and if you feel frustrated, I'll tell you what your brain is doing and why it's doing it. And then we'll make some Toll House cookies, and then we'll make snow angels, and you can find somebody else to snuggle with. I don't want to snuggle with you. If you were a little kid, I would give you a snuggle, but I'll find somebody that will snuggle with you. I bet you I can get Megan Thee Stallion to snuggle with you. If I can do that, would that make you happy, David Goggins? Hopefully it'd make Megan Thee Stallion happy too, and then she'd call herself a mare. Okay, do you understand? Because she ain't no damn stallion. No, I'm sure that woman is a woman. You do not call a woman a man. That's just wrong. That shows you have cognitive disabilities. That's a stallion. No, it's not. That's a mare. I know a stallion. A stallion have a twig and berries and gets an erection and tries to mount the mare. Okay, I am a stallion, but that is a mare, and I know a mare when I see a mare, and I know that's a damn good-looking mare. Yes, it is. Okay, so yeah, that's what I would say, and I would sit there, don't listen to these motherfuckers, they don't know what they're talking about. They're illiterate, man. They believe money's real. They'll fight and kill over it. They're crazy. They'll talk about themselves narcissistically to fucked up, old Ohio Players records with some scratch and sniff shit they made up on the... No, some people make some very good beats. My boy Joe makes very good beats. Premier. Keith Elam's DJ. Yeah. Premier makes really good beats. Check the Technique. Soliloquy of Chaos. What else has really good beats in it? Just Check the Technique. Yeah, I like that. There's also a lot of really good beats that Premier does that I really enjoy. I got upset about Manifest because the original version has some synth horns in it, and they removed that. I was like, why'd they remove that? I thought the lyrics were triumphant, man. I thought the synth horns were, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na, and I still can't find a version online that has the ba-na-na-na-na-na consistently like the old video when I watched it back in the service when I was at Pope Lee Air Force Base back in the 90s, early 90s, right? It's frustrating. Yeah, it is. You can't even find the music. Yeah, I can find digitally remastered songs of Nat King Cole that sound better than when I was a kid because we had records. Oh, yeah. All these people's vinyl's better. No, it's not. That's not true. When someone takes a song off a master tape or whatever stuff, or takes it even from vinyl and then digitally masters it, as if it wasn't playing on vinyl, it sounds better than with the from vinyl. Yeah, we can only imagine what it's like to sit and listen to Billie Holiday without the script. And so we can only imagine what it would sound like to sit and listen to certain people sing, going, I'm going up to the country. What it sounded like to sit and listen to them, hear it live. And when you have digital recording, it replicates it to a point where it's almost like you're in the same room. And I think that's cool. I dig that. And so there are a lot of things that people can do with science that I really dig and I think is cool because it's nice to be able to share that fun or beautiful moment and keep it and then share it with friends and say, isn't this song wonderful? And there's a lot of things people can do with technology to honor the beauty of the gift of life and not get all whacked out and paranoid about it and stuff like that. Don't let them take pictures. It will steal your soul. It does not steal your soul. You do not possess the soul. God is neither a possessive pronoun or a first person be. The soul, same thing. If the soul is the essence of the glory of God that provides life to the physical temple as the body, you're crying over this clay, then you do not possess the soul. The soul, more or less, is your gift of life for this physical body. So you better honor the glory of God to honor the gift of life in this body. It's not that hard. Apparently it is. Well, if you get into Stanford and want to sell drugs to people so they accept the fuck for the buck, then yeah, it's okay. It's that hard. But now you make it snaps like a button. Illegit shit. Get socked in the throat. Stanford grads? Oh, never mind. Okay. Google it. Okay. All you drug company engineers and manipulators of molecular thingies or drugs or chemicals or whatever, Google it. If you want to know what I'm talking about illegit shit and getting socked in the throat and Stanford grads, Google it. I'm an MC. Google it. Back in the day when you were young, you're not a kid anymore, but sometimes you wish you were a kid again, right? Google it, I say. Trinity. He got in trouble for looking at that woman's butt with the way they were doing the MC bit. Yeah, that's funny. But you could see Trinity was giving him a hard time. I was like, and then she took a picture of that dude in the shorts with the Italian guy with he was wearing them tight shorts because he knew, hey, look what I got in here, right? Okay. Reminded me of my dad's horse Oblige. Yeah. All right, guys. I love you a lot, man. I'm recording these so I have something to listen to that's intelligent while I'm soaking in Epsom salt in the tub. And so, yeah, I usually slow for close to about an hour. So if I put 3 videos on YouTube for 15 minutes apiece, yeah, that gives me a good 45 minutes to just sit and listen. And then the last 10 minutes or so, I can just sit there and go, okay, I got soaked. But I have to have something to do. If I just sit there and think about just sitting there, then it just drives me nuts. I'm like, oh, gosh, I have to sit here and soak in salts because of chemical poisoning, because of pervert corporations that want to give you medication to survive or abuse. And if you think about that, you get really agitated and really angry and really mad. So it's better to listen to someone intelligent talk, even if it's yourself, connecting to other people that are intelligent or crave to be more intelligent because they're sick of being abused by assholes with technology and money. Like Guru said, a lot of companies have lots of money and no idea what's whack and what's dope. Well, money's not real, so that's whack, okay? Living the Lord's Prayer is dope. Think like a Muslim, a real Muslim, like Muhammad and, Hassan, Hussein, and Ali, and Khadijah. Don't think like a person that's part of a corporation that says, I need more money to pay my bills. Psalms, Proverbs, live the Lord's Prayer. Have a nice day. Okay, do you understand? So, in order to think intelligently, one must understand the meaning of the word faith, and then have faith. And then when you have faith in your existence, the essence of your existence, you can think and speak and act in an intelligent manner. If you don't, you're going to do things for money and then tell everybody that won't do things for money and doesn't want to do things for money, you need your medication. I need my medication. How about soul vaccination? Does that count as medication? Anybody else like Tower Power? Soul vaccination is not my favorite, but it's good. My 2 favorites, everybody knows my 2 favorites. It's Lenny Williams's So Very Hard to Go first. Then Steve's, I don't know Steve's last name, You're Still a Young Man. And then I like What Is Hip. What Is Hip is also a good song too. Oakland Stroke is also a good song too. But yeah, good, good band. Excellent horn section. Tower Power. They're good. Okay. If you know your music, you know that Tower Power is a very good band. As good as Earth, Wind, and Fire. Well, let's not split hairs. Let's just say, hey, they both have good horn sections and talented musicians. And okay, it's Earth, Wind, and Fire. I prefer Earth, Wind, and Fire, but well, Philip Bailey. I love Philip Bailey. And Maurice is very talented, even though he had some brain issues with, you make lots of money and you're very influential. And it's like, yeah, anytime people are talented over years and years and years through molecular structures, they develop brain injuries feeling influential so they can manipulate people, even if they're just a hustler, like the president.